Just getting a few things set up, guys. All right. Hopefully today's not too choppy. Let me set up this also real quick before I forget. I don't want to take the trade on the wrong account by accident. Just getting copy trader set up real quick. All right. Copy trader set in case we do get that first move this morning. To me, I feel like we're kind of setting up for a short this morning. All right. Good morning, guys. How's everyone doing today? Still just getting a few things set up real quick. We still got about 10 minutes before the market opens.
This is ridiculous. It's 118. The kids.
All right. Yeah, to me, I look like we're kind of setting up for a short here. I'm kind of hoping that we can push down, then push back up into this zone. Then hopefully we can get that short. But hey, who knows? I feel like there's a little bit more resistance to the top side here. So what do we got? About 10 more minutes before the market opens. So we did have that big sell-off last night. If you were trading with us last night, the level, the 814 level, we got in a little late last night, but we were short from, I think, 783 last night, and we just left a runner for overnight. So I think we hit $180 last night. So it kind of made up for that red day that we had yesterday or the day before. All right. Think I got everything set up here. Oh, let me go. I need my Discord. I have to get something real quick. Up there it is. Still got about 8 minutes left. Let me set up a. Just marking out an ES level here. All right, we'll just kind of keep an eye on that one. Alrighty, so hopefully today's not too bad. We already had our news play this morning. So we do have a data wick up here. I want to say this was job openings. It was something to do with the job market, but this is basically a data wick to the upside. It's like we got data wicks on both ends here. See, low, high. Yeah, we could basically push straight down. We won't be pushing back into discount because we're already into premium. So, So the box here on my screen, that is the opening 15-minute candle from 8 o'clock to 8:15. A lot of times we look for a play that pulls back into that level. And that's usually what we take our funded trade on. So we're going to be probably copy trading. I want to say copy trading 3 or 4 fundeds on this play here. Looking for 20 to 30 points is the ideal. I feel like I'm stuck on an info commercial on a YouTube channel somewhere because I am. There it is. I was like, holy crap. All right, so we're already kind of starting to get the push. And then this thing could just go straight down without any kind of pullback. So if this thing does go pull like straight down, so what you would have to do is kind of wait for it to push down and push back up. It's kind of in a weird position here. Man, those data wick candles kind of just mess up everything. Kind of makes it look weird. The price action at the opening has not been clean lately. It's just been a lot of just crazy wicks. So we got about a little under 4 minutes left before the market opens. Ah, you stupid thing. I don't know about you guys, but I feel tired this morning. I stayed up way too late streaming. I don't think I got off to the stream till like 10 o'clock my time. Then plus getting back up at freaking 4 o'clock this morning. I feel blah today. Don't know about the rest of you guys. For anybody else that stayed up late streaming last night, or not staying up late streaming at least, but trading, watching charts. It's actually kind of a short setup for me at this line here at the 8 up 88s. All right, guys, like I said, what do we got? Less than 2 minutes to go, minute 50 seconds. We may even not even really get like a normal order. So what'll happen if it pushes straight down here? What we'll have to do is just wait for a retest, and you won't catch the breakout. At least I won't be able to catch the breakout because if it's already kind of breaking out of that zone here before the market opens. And see, I was trying to take actually a sell at that 88 earlier. So this could basically go all the way down here, run this data wick, and then you would have to be patient and wait for another pullback. Since we're already kind of getting that move. All right, market's open. Yeah, like I said, we already kind of broke out of that range. All right, made the low. Yeah, these big candles like this are very tough to trade off of just because it doesn't give you any structure. It's just straight down. Like I said, just being patient and wait. So this type of price action where you have these big wicks, so this is why I usually don't buy breakout candles, just because you can easily get trapped in a position like this. It's safer to wait for the next candle to print. We still got about a minute and a half left on this candle. Hopefully everybody had a safe trading session last night if you were trading in the overnight session. Still looking pretty bearish. We got that 680 target down there to those London lows. All right, about to have a new 5-minute candle. Wow, this shit's insane. It's just dumping off. So what we can do is just wait for us to run these London lows and see if we can find support. And a lot of times you'll get like a nice reversal entry off of the London lows. And this means it's still in a really it's going to continue lower because we only push back about 20%. So most of the time, if you can stay under 30% of this candle, most of the time you're going to continue lower. Let's see what happens here. Waiting to see if we're going to run these London lows. I'm just going to put my order there for a minute just to wait and see if we run these London lows first. Because I'm thinking that we could possibly get a little soup area off the London lows here. But unfortunately, we've already hit the 86% pullback, so I don't know if we have any more. Probably more or less back above the 50%. We are probably going to be doing a retracement here. What's up, Fish Lips? What's up, man? How are you doing today? All right, let's see if we're going to run these lows or... If it runs these lows, it's no more a valid trade. We'll have to wait for another pullback if it breaks this low here. And it's just going to be a 2 micro trade if we get tagged in. And it'll either be a winner or a loser, then we'll be done with the fundeds for the day. If it gets back below that 85, I might kill the trade because I don't really want us back below the London lows. Looks like it's going to continue down. All right. All right, so we did run the London lows. Let's see. All right, take off my copy trader real quick. Disconnect. Oh, that's going to be pretty crappy if this thing goes up long from here. All right, we're going to switch over to our eval. Like I said, we just do one trade. So instead, we're just running the lows here. So we'll just wait and see what happens around this Asia low, not Asia low, the London low from overnight. Was that not the London low? Yeah. Yeah. Did you stay in that short all night, Fish Lips? I think we ended up getting 50 points on that short last night. You made a little off of it. Like I said, guys, that was my funded trade. So we only do one trade on the funded. So, like I said, it's going to be $100 loss for that trade. Man, we're just knifing through everything. It's going to be one of these days where we just pretty much don't find like no resistance. We just knife down. If you just kind of do this whole leg from the last few days. Maybe one of these days where we rerun this whole leg, kind of going back to January 4th. So what was that last Friday where we had that big push down? So basically, this is possibly what we could be running today. Is anybody here in the short? So the only thing we can do here, guys, is just wait for some kind of pullback here. Not really a lot you can do when we're just kind of dumping like this. Fish Lips, did you get caught in any of these shorts off of the whole numbers? I mean, longs on these. All right, we're at the 600. You can kind of anticipate a little bit of reaction here. But a lot of times, whenever we're just in like knife falling, a lot of times these levels don't get respected. And all you can do is just kind of sit here and watch. There's a 600 bounce. Nice rejection off the 600 for a nice little bounce off the whole number. This is kind of a bounce area for the ES here around the 30s. Wow, I bet you this thing goes back up 100 points, man. Ooh, goodness. Nice rejection. Nice recovery, fish lips. Where we're trading the NQ, but they're micro trades. So I'm only usually going in like 2 micros per trade on funded accounts. So far this morning, it's going to be a red day for us this morning. Like I said, after dumping off like this, we got to wait for some kind of pullback to find an entry. We just can't just jump in. Because a lot of times, whenever we're just having these big sell-offs like this, it doesn't respect the levels, and it'll just knife fall through them. Dude, the ES is just ripping. Goodness. All right, about to have a new candle. I think he said something about his internet messed up today. Rooms. I still feel like we can pull back a little deeper here. I feel like we need to like push back up to the 700s here. He'll probably either be back tonight streaming or probably tomorrow. All right, let's see if we get that 700 push here. You would think so. That would put us about the 60% pullback at the 700. No. Room, you taking any trades this morning so far, or you been kind of just sitting on the sideline? What's up, John? So the 680 is going to be your. Now, I don't know if I have that right or not. I think I forgot to update it. I still think we got a little bit more room to the downside, guys. So we do have an inside bar here, but I feel like you would almost want to do the inside bar to the top side. The only thing about to the top side, that's another retest of the that London low area from overnight. This is the first 5 minute inside bar for anybody that likes to take inside bars on the 5 minutes. The only thing about it, you probably couldn't have the accurate stop loss you need because it's what 75 down to 20. So shoot, that's what 40 points. All right. Looks like we're about to break to the downside. If you break past the 20, now, like I said, we only entered these trades on 2 micros, guys. I got a bad feel. It's supposed to have been short from the 20. Damn, I'm about 10 points off my target. All right. Man. Yeah, you were supposed to have been short from the 20 on this. Then the time I hit it, it went so fast that got about 10 points off of my original target. We'll just play it the right way since it's just in 2 micros. If it goes back above where this target is, it's no longer a valid trade. Let's see, maybe we can add into it. A little bit better. We got about 50 seconds left on this 5-minute candle. I'm hoping we hit our first target before this next candle prints. $40 seconds left on this candle. This is strictly a mechanical trade. So basically what it is, you just wait for the first 5-minute inside bar and either get long or short, wherever way it goes. That was close. All right, just right before it printed here. Hopefully that'll be the only 10 putt touch and we can continue down. I have no idea where we could run to here. We're going to target the 25s. That'll be the previous day London low at the 25s. A lot of time left on this 5-minute candle. Like I said, God, this entry is strictly mechanical. Basically, all you do is just wait for the 5-minute inside bar, and wherever way it breaks out, you just get long or short. I don't usually take these on funded account, but today I did, so I took it on one of the fundeds. So, like I said, these are the funded accounts that we took losses on a while ago. Excuse me. come on. We need that 600 love to hold up here. Was that the first target down at the 75? So that was the first 75 touch. The next pullback, not quite to the 800, but got pretty close. So hopefully we get a push down to the 50 here. Another 75 touch. Since that's the second one, I think we'll lose it that time. Then maybe we'll make a push to the 50 here. We got a minute left on this 5-minute candle. Don't come back up. Might get stopped out on this next candle because we only got 50 seconds left on this next 5-minute candle. So it could get a little bit of reaction for a pullback here. So. Come on. 17 seconds left. Damn it. All right. It got our runner. Damn it. I was really hoping that it would continue pushing. We're about to have a new candle. We rerun those other London lows at the 25s, but it looks like we got stuck somewhere around the low of the Asia and the New York PM session from the other night. Sorry if I wasn't paying attention to the chat, guys. Oof. All right, let me look at your thing real quick, Clark. I'm sorry, I was paying attention to the chat. It says, hey, I want to start trading with small account at the small gains. If you're brand new to trading, I would probably recommend prop firms before you use your own money because you can wait for another little prop firm sale to happen and pick up like a $20 account. That way it doesn't cost you a lot of money. And all that $20 is going to do is just cover your your data fees. That allows you to get free data through like Ninja, Tradevate, Quantower, depending on what charts you're trading on. Dude, crazy 100-point reversal off of the 50s. Holy crap. What's up, Tom? How are you doing? Yeah, I need to make some videos on how to like set everything up again. I used to have most of that stuff on my page, but I think I deleted most of that stuff and I need to go back and redo that again. If I got time this weekend, I'll try to start doing that. That way it can help people start out. This way it'll show you like how to set up your Ninja charts, how to connect your Ninja charts, how to set up Ripnik. If you're using Ripnik, there's an extra step. You have to have RTrader Pro. That way, because RTrader Pro is the middleman between NinjaTrader and whatever prop firm you're using if you're trading Ripnik. So if you're using Bulanox or even Apex or whoever you're using that has a Ripnik connection, you got to have that RTrader Pro as your middleman to sign up for. Because basically what they do is they copy your trades, or they don't copy your trades, but they report your trades back to the prop firm. But then you can get other connections. There's one called like D something, and I'm not sure what Tradeovate's other connection's called. But most of my connections are all Ripnik, except for the few except for the few Tradeovate accounts I have. So all my accounts are connected through Ripnik and Tradeovate. And the reason why I do that is because on Ninja, you can connect all of your non-Ripnik accounts to your Ripnik account. You only can trade one Ripnik account at a time on Ninja. So what I do is so right now I'm connected to two different Apex here. It's similar to like what you're talking about on TradingView, where you can stroll down and connect all your different accounts to your TradingView account. But I'm not that familiar with doing that with Tradeovate. Not Tradeovate, but TradingView. So like this morning, I was copy trading 4 funded accounts. So like I said, so we took 4 losses of basically $100 this morning on my funded accounts. We took a eval trade off stream a while ago because we're going to be probably trading that aggressive because I only got a month to pass that. And this was a funded trade here for that inside bar. Yeah, I'll subscribe to your YouTube page or something, and I can just send you a message whenever. Like I said, I'll try to even start making that well, I don't know about this evening because lately it's like I stream in the morning, kind of work in the middle of the day, then stream at night. I've been trying to stick strictly to just one loss trades on my funded. So like even though I'm red, it can be very tempting to try to take another trade to get those back. But we're not going to do that. We're just going to just let them stay red and move on to tomorrow. As you can see, we're still in the positive, but it'll just be a red day. And what we'll do now is switch over back to our eval and see if we can find some kind of another setup here. So this was kind of the pullback that I was looking for a while ago. I mean, this looks like a really nice spot for like a 600 or a 700 bounce because you're around the 50 to that 60% pullback. So we might be able to buy something up here into discount and see if we can take another short. Yeah, it's really not about taking the loss. The issue where a lot of people struggle, even myself, is living with that red day. This platform is called NinjaTrader Speed. So I trade on 2 different platforms. I usually trade Ninja and I also trade Quantower. So Quantower is usually what I'm trading in the evening on. Because I'm not that experienced trading in the evening. So, and I still keep the same motto. So if I take a losing trade, just walk away with your small loss and come back tomorrow. Because if you just live with your little loss, that's why I usually just trade 2 micros. I know some people do it a little different. A lot of people will play the what do you want to call it? The percentage game. So what I mean by percentage games, I know there's a lot of streamers that do this, but I don't have that kind of money to do that. So basically they're full porting a lot of their accounts to get their payout, especially like day traders and Take Profit Trader and those type prop firms where you can get same day payouts. And it's all a percentage base. So, they may spend $3,000 to make $1,000. I mean, it's still profitable, but that's just what some people do. But I don't make enough money to gamble like that. Maybe one day, but at this moment, no. Or you have other streamers talking about going all DGN. This platform is called NinjaTrader. I'll put it in the chat. And there's a lot of videos online about NinjaTrader. There's a lot of people that use NinjaTrader, so there's a lot of videos on how to set up and how to use. Man, almost similar to the same setup yesterday with this thing wigged back into the 15 minutes and just dumped. Yes, I'm using Bulenox. Right now, I'm using Bulenox, Apex, and I'll have to look and see how you make sure I spell Padeas right. And these are Quantower charts. This is usually what we use to trade in the evening. And it's also a Ripnik connection. I only do the Quantowers in the evening because I'm not used to trading Quantower. If you're looking for like some friendly trader platforms, I would probably recommend like Tradeovate. If you're looking for Tradeovates, I like it because they're very simple. Like for a new trader, if you're just starting out, it's like it's got like super simple, just buy sell. I mean, it's like super simple. It doesn't seem like overwhelming, so that's why I like it. As far as because that's where I first started trading too. Is I was using Tradeovate. Hopefully this may sign me out. So if it does, it'll be fine. And this is what Tradeovate counts look like. I haven't been on these things in forever, but they're pretty simple. Buy, sell bid, buy as. All your little settings are over here. It just has a few with very well kind of labeled. So this Tradeovate is super like easy friendly. If you're looking for easy charts to trade on. Close this out. Yeah, Bulenox allows anything solo. They're probably one of the ones that don't. The only rule that they kind of enforce is the percentage rule. Like that 40% rule where you can't make over 40%. Sounds good, Speed. Thank you very much today. Thank you, Jake, for the donation today. Sorry, it took me a minute to get to that. You can do both. I've never used Tradeovate to stream on, not stream on, but to take trades on. So what you do on Tradeovate, if you want to trade on Tradeovate, you would have to do the same thing. So basically what you want to do is whoever you sign up for. So you would have to sign up for either Tradeovate or Ninja or somebody, and then you would have to connect your accounts to TradingView, if I'm not mistaken. So you would still have to have one of these trading charts. You would just connect your account to them. And so basically you would take your trades on Tradeovate and it kind of puts it, it's kind of like copy trading basically. I've never technically used the Trading View charts to trade, so I couldn't even really tell you where to begin. But I know that's how it works. So you would say set up your Ninja charts, then you would log in onto here. Yeah, doing that's totally different. I don't know. I usually just use TradingView for the few indicators that I use. So, and most of all the indicators I use are kind of level based. I didn't realize how close we were to that previous day low. So this is one of my favorite indicators, and this way it kind of gives you targets to shoot for. And so what these are like ICT kill zone targets. They're called ICT kill zone and pivots. And so what it does, it marks out, I want to say like the first 2 or 3 hours of the each session. So like last night, yeah, we took one loss on our first trade, and the second one was a winner this morning, RS. So this is one trade that this is probably one of my favorite trades to take in the Asian market. So a lot of times if the Asian market can lose the PM session, this is what I was telling everybody last night. It will sell off all night till London session. So if you got short last night and just had your order above the 14 or 15, you could have rode that all the way till London session for like 3 hours. But you only get this maybe like once or twice a week, depending on a lot of times I can't stay awake long enough for us to break it. But last night we were lucky enough to be awake when it popped. All right, so we're looking for kind of a pullback back up to this area and maybe even up to the 60s to possibly look for a short. Man, unless this thing pulls all the way back up into the 15 minutes, that's going to be very tempting to short on another funded account. Yeah, Fish Lip scalps a lot on the Bulanox accounts. So we're probably not going to look for any more funded account trades today. It's mainly going to be evals. Like I said, we try to stick to the motto. If you take a loss on your fundeds, just take your one trade and move on to the next day. And this way you don't dig yourself in a bigger hole, because I mean, losing $100 is very manageable, and you just kind of start fresh tomorrow. We did take one funded a trade. It was a separate one by itself that I've never even taken a trade on that funded account before. That was the first time ever taking a trade on that funded account. There's the ones that have been just kind of sitting there for a while. Then my Bulanox account, the one that we've been looking for like $200 a day, that was part of the loss. So we won't look for another trade today on it either. Let's see here. All right, here's the account that we were trading last night. This is that one that we took the 50-point win. So I think we made an extra $100 last night on this account. So the one that we were trading last night when the market ended, we are up 180 on that account from last night. And these are my Padeas accounts. These are the ones I have to trade small to, because you start off with these are static accounts, and you only start off with like $500 in drawdown. Man, are we only going to get the 50% pullback here? I mean, that was a 700 touch, so And we're back below those London lows from last night also, or that kill zone area. I'm tempted to. I don't know if it may be safer to wait on our next candle here, just to make sure. I can't believe it's already 10:30. This morning's flying by. Yeah, like I said, Tradeovate's it's definitely friendly user. It to me, like I said, I've never used TradingView, but Tradeovate's very easily very easy to use, very simple. So basically, whatever how you plan on trading, if you're going to use your own money or if you're going to just start out using prop firms, to me, I would always recommend using prop firms to start out instead of using your own money. I'd rather pay $15 a month and trade on a sim account to practice than every now and then maybe take a trade on your eval. If you're just looking for a way to not really spend a lot of money to start trading, that would be like the most cheapest way. But unfortunately, right now, all the 90% deals ended a few days ago. So you'll have to. I haven't checked to see what Bulinox has, if they started any sales. Bulinox is cheap up front, but a little bit more on the back end. Apex is kind of in the middle. So they've been doing kind of a in the middle type thing with their stuff. So yeah, like Bewley is 45% off, and I don't know too many people that usually buy at 45% off because that'd be pretty pricey to pay that 45% plus pay the activation fee. Yeah, sim account's like a demo slash paper, and you still have to have data. So that's why it's cheaper to go through a prop firm, because what it is, they'll give you free data when you sign up for them. So let's just say you decide to not use a prop firm, you still have to pay for data through Tradeovate or Ninja, because they don't give you the free data to show you like what the market's doing. So that's why it says it's usually cheaper if you just go through like a prop firm, because mostly all of them give you the free data with it. That's why I'm saying you almost have to wait for if you want to be like the cheapest into it, I'd wait for like to see if Bulinox comes back out with like a 83% off or 80% off, and it's usually like $20. But Bulinox does not use Tradeovate. Bulinox is a Ripna connection, so you would either have to trade that on Ninja or Quantower. Quantower or these charts here. So this is Quantower. It's a Ripnic connection. I like Quantower. It's just I'm not very good at Quantower. I'm not quick enough to use it to trade as fast as I need to trade. Oh, let me bring that over real quick. So this is what Quantower charts look like. Quantower is what I usually trade on in the evenings when it's really slow. Oh yeah, you don't want to be buying that at no 45% off. That's plus the activation fee. Man, you'll be in that crap for like $200. So you're just going to have to wait a few days. Right, yeah. So that's what gives you your numbers from the market is the data. All right, so we got that 50% pullback, man. I'm kind of anticipating a reversal here. So we done pull. We're getting pretty close back into the discount here. Man, I hate to say it, but tomorrow I'm going to start taking these no matter if it looks ugly or not without a decent pullback, because I've missed out on the last 2 days of these breakouts when it pulls out, then wicks back in. I'm just going to start having a resting order sitting here. But I understand sometimes you get burned doing that. So this was kind of a nice pullback, 50% along with the whole number, along with the 21 EMA. So a lot of reaction in here. This actually would have been a nice spot for a short here at the whole number. All right. %60. Man, you're talking about a massive stop loss. If you had to have your stop loss in the correct way here, it would be so big. There's just no way to have an accurate stop loss on this without having your stop loss way up here at the 820s. I mean, it's like a 100-point stop loss. There's just no way, fish lips. Yeah, I think if you wait probably by the end of the day or tomorrow solo, I would think Beulah Knox would put out another discount. Like either 83% or even 75. A lot of times whenever they take a pause on their discounts, they'll come back out with like a 75% discount. Or Padeas sometimes run those 80% and you'll be all in for $55. I don't know. Are you allowed to trade Padeas where you're at, Solo? They're a European company. They're out of, I want to say either, not sure if it's London or the UK. They got their flag on there, what country, what part of the country they're in. And I know they pay out. And they have the old APEC rules. Those are the ones I would like to get pay out as soon as I pass my evals with them. Man. I'm just going to take a little filler trade here and see if we stay below the 78s. If we start coming back up, we'll close this. This is just the eval only. I told myself I was going to try to stop trading my evals online because I trade those super aggressive and I don't really care for people to try to follow those because they're not setups. So 702 will be my line in the sand here. I just noticed I had a level sitting here at 702. So 702 will be my line in the sand here. We're at now, I want to say we are up about $150 on this account. So if we break back above 702, my bias will probably change. All right, we just hit that 702, 700 again. Like I said, guys, this is just an eval account. I repeat that over and over because I don't want anybody to like follow these trades because these aren't like setups. These are just aggressive kind of like I think trades. So that was a kind of a break of that London low that we're looking for. Because like I said, don't want anybody following those trades. What's up, Matt? You've been trying to get a push to the 600s. We may get a push down here. I'm just not sure how much. Uh, you could probably pull your fib if this leg stays good and get an idea. So possibly the 30 to 50%. So possibly a push down to the 50s here. Got to get through those 80s. Like I said, I was trying to short that London low that London low area. You've been on this trade for 25 minutes. Where did you enter at, Matt? What zone is that? That London zone that you're talking about, Fish Lips? All right, so just broke the London lows again. I'm going to put my stop loss right above it. So if it comes back and hits my runner, it comes back. We started off with 3 contracts. Like I said, this is an eval trade only. We've already done with our fundeds for the day. Like I said, we're going to be red on a few of our fundeds and green on one. So like I said, usually we just do one trade and then we'll just stick to our evals, just kind of scalping and practicing for the rest of the day or rest of the morning. Man, what a nice 50 to 60% pullback that was on that leg. So this right here is kind of give you an idea if we're going to continue higher. So if we get stuck above the 50s here, like 50% of this leg, more likely it's going to do one of these deals where it goes up 50%, then it pulls back 50 to 60%, then it'll go straight back up. Or even if the 30 holds, that means the trend is pretty strong here still for the upward. So if you're looking for that 600, man, you're going to have to basically break through probably the 50s, that 50% back way back down into discount to see if we're going to rerun these lows or not. All right, here's the 50% of the leg. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to just follow the wicks down. We're going to stay at the top of the 5-minute candles. So that's where we're going to keep our stop loss, even though it's not very much at the moment. All right, so close it, break even. Nice. Hey, I'll take a break even trade any day, Matt. Yeah, lately I definitely hear every day in the morning streaming. For the last month, I've been doing Tokyo session 2. Tokyo's a hit and miss for me. I'm not going to lie. Last night was a good trading session. We were able to pull off a 50-point move, and we had the right direction picked the night before, but I got wicked out and I didn't re-enter. But last night we were able to hold the trade because I ended up putting it all the way back. Yeah, if it starts looking like it's going to reject out of this area, because we just hit that, we're kind of in discount here. So with this leg, so let's see if it just can't hold, and we're just going to continue through here. But if it holds, that means we're just going to make another swing here. And then you would just pull fib on this part of the leg, inside leg, and see if you get the breakout to the upside. So as you can see, we hit that 60% there, or discount, wherever how you want to say it. There's a lot of different terms of what people use the fib for, or a lot of people that trade the fib pretty regularly, they'll call it their golden pocket. Because I know there's like a golden pocket type trading strategy that people use. I use it more for reference than anything. Not necessarily like trading, it's just more for reference. So what they'll do is some people that'll trade the fib, they'll put a buy order sitting at the 60%, and their stop loss would have to go basically all the way down here at the 560s. I mean, you're looking at a massive stop loss, so you couldn't really be in that too heavy. What's up, Walls? How are you doing today? Walls, did you hold that short all night? All right, so we did hit the 60% of this leg. So basically discount, and our runner got stopped out. So that's usually a good indicator that we're probably going back to the top side. So we just made a higher low. Yeah, I think when I got off the stream, I left my trade on. I happened to wake up like at 1:30, 2 o'clock this morning because I was like, I need to go shut off my computer and stuff because I left it on, because I left that trade on last night that we had. And I think it hit my target sometime around 12 or 1 o'clock this morning. Yeah, we took profit because we put it 50 points down from that entry that we were in. Did that go to the 25? It did. Wow, that almost lined up perfect, didn't it, Fish Lips? That 60% was sitting on that, what do you want to call it? The 61% was sitting pretty much right there at the 25. Like I said, guys, we're going to be super aggressive with my eval here. These are not setups. These are just kind of, I think, trades. So I can't really say I'm taking these because when you guys see them, it's going to be 5 or 6 seconds later. So it's really hard for me to call out these trades. This just being a little bit more aggressive with my eval here. So that's kind of what I was saying. Like if this pulls back into 50 to 60% back into discount, more likely we're going to be moving higher here. So once I saw us that we may break back above that little London low that we had marked out, I would think that we at least run these highs here. Yeah, unfortunately, my very first trade this morning, Walls, we took a losing trade on my fundeds this morning. I feel like I got in a little too late. I don't know. I guess it ran that low basically, and I thought that low was going to probably hold for a retest or for a push back up, kind of like similar to what we did here, and it did not. So we took a little bit of red on the fundeds this morning. Oh, not a big deal. We just take that one loss and put it away. We did take another funded a trade. We should have had a little over $100 on it, but we were trying to hold it for a bigger move. The losses usually don't what get me in the past. Usually what gets me in the past is not being able to live with the losing trade and you try to get it back. To me, I feel like that's where you hurt yourself a lot. Where I've hurt myself in the past is, yeah, try to get it back. So instead of just saying, okay, we got a little red on our account, put it away. Instead, you're over here like, all right, let me see if I can get this back in this move. Then took like 2 losses. I don't think Methodical is trading today, Fish Lips. Yeah, revenge trade has gotten me a lot in the past, Matt. Not gonna lie, it gets the best of us. The revenge trading. All right, like I said, we're trading this eval fairly aggressive. We're up 250 so far, and we may even see if we can grab another entry here. If we can, I'm gonna wait until this next candle to print though. It's just in that like no man lands where I'm not a big fan of trading, which is between that 690 to 710. Revenge trading on the ES is tempting. Matt, were you the one last month during rollover week holding that long trade for days? Was that you or somebody else? Somebody last month was holding they were in a short or something like that forever. I don't know if that was you, Matt, or someone else. I'm trying to remember who that was. So we did not break that leg there. Basically, we just pulled back to about 60 to 70% of this previous inside leg. I was thinking this one would make the newer high, then we can have that continuous higher low as we build up our higher highs. So, man. And we're back below that London low again. Mm. Yeah, okay, that wasn't you. Yeah, the market has slowed down a little bit. You're getting smaller candles, so I kind of like it in a way because it can kind of keep you from having like massive stop losses. Like if you're trading candle to candle, so you're you can almost manage like a 10-point trade. So we did not get back above the 700s there. See where the 5 minute is. O'clock. Well, if this candle here can break this and cause like a newer lower low off of this leg, might get the push back down. $20s. So what you do have to watch out for if this is going to be like a trend here. So if this is going to be just like where it's just following the trend line. So kind of similar to what we had going on last night, where you kind of had like you were kind of building inside of a wedge. So similar to kind of like what was going on last night when we were stuck in that wedge. It seemed like forever till we finally broke out of it. Dude, 800 points so far. Man, fish lips. I'm just going to have to break down and start trading the whole numbers. Goodness. Are you over leveraged on your account, Matt? It says the one trade I really wanted to run without me couldn't get a good feel. I know Fish Lips has been over there killing it lately solo. Fish Lips gonna have to get a channel or something going. He can do a faceless one. Show us how to perfection the whole number trading. He be killing it on the whole numbers. Let's see, where's that? 726. All right, guys, like I said, there's not really a lot for us to do here, but just kind of be patient and wait and see what's going to happen here. So right now, we're just kind of trading into a tight little wedge here. I thought we were going to make a higher, basically a new high here off of this inside leg, but we did not. So if we break below this, we may get another push down into the 500s here. You're shorting? All right, breaking out of that wedge. Still got a lot of time left on this candle. So, guys, if we short, we're doing eval trading right now, guys. So, like I said, we're already done trading our fundeds. We took 2 funded trades this morning. One was a green trade, one was a red trade. All right, still got 2 minutes. My trading view name. Okay, so wait a minute. Let's see. So it looks like we're about to break that low there. If we break this leg here, that would make a new lower high, because that's a higher low there at that wick. And we got about a minute. If this comes back and stops us out, we can always re-enter. That's just our runner. Because I know we can kind of reverse off this whole number down here, so you kind of have to be aware of that. Yeah, so my runner got stopped out. We hit the first 2 contracts, and we might be able to re-enter. We'll just have to wait and see what happens with this pullback here. I was kind of waiting for us to break this previous leg to just to make sure. Like I said, guys, I really can't call these out because these just happen so fast. And like I said, we're being pretty aggressive with our eval. So 25 is probably going to be my line in the sand here. I really don't want it back above the 23%. So here we're looking for this 25 area to hold. Because we pulled back. Oh, shit. This thing doesn't pop hard. Whew. Oh, shit. I couldn't even close it. That ripped so fast. Still, what are we still at? 209. Let's see. That was pretty aggressive. So that's the new low here at the 610s. Oh, there was a 3-minute order block there. Yeah, if I can pass this account by the end of the week, I think the Beulah Knox extended their their discount here. Dude, some of these 5-minute and candles have been insane today with some of these pullbacks. So does that mean that was just a manipulation, kind of a fake pull out to trap some shorts and then to rip it back up? Oh my goodness. Insane. Got 30 seconds left on this candle here, so let's see what happens. I mean, that area has just been a straight target. Like I said, I don't really call out eval trades because, like I said, uh, it's for Traded View, it's like Hus Junior 77. Looks like they want another 700 touch here. Pull back 23% of the candle. And this is on the 5 minutes. So on these eval trades, what we're looking for is just like 10 points in the runner. So if our runners get stopped out, it's not a big deal. So usually it's more a lot more quicker moves whenever we're trading on evals. And I was trading them all stream just because to me these are just, I mean, it's like, I want to say borderline gambling, but it's definitely over trading. I don't recommend anybody to follow these trades. The only trades that I wait for, like my Pacific setups, is usually on my funded accounts. With evals, is just trade a little bit more aggressively. As long as we can't move back below like the 20 to 30%, kind of what we were looking for a while ago on this big leg here, I think we at least get a push up to the 700s here, and we get back above the 800s or 80s, I guess. That's that around that London low. Right now we're still up 186 or 186 with fees. Our total P&L's 209. I haven't really looked at the ES this morning. I've been meaning to. You're long in the 675s, add at 650 if needed. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm waiting on to see if we get that 700 touch here. Mm. If we pull down to the 50s, we're going to try to add one contract to this. We're not in the trade yet. But if it doesn't push down to the 50s, we just won't add. We'll push this back up here and just close it. All right, we got about 30 seconds left on this 5-minute candle. Yeah, you know, if you get the urge to full port, man, like where you're just losing those emotions, it's probably best to, especially if it's like a funded account or expensive eval. So like we're trading a 90% eval from Apex that I bought the last day before it ended, and you have to pass these within 1 month or less because you do not want to pay that 50% activation fee. So you want to be done. You only get 1 month to pass these. Ooh, might be building out a little bull flag here. Oh, you're shorting? When is CPI numbers? Is that tomorrow morning, Matt? Not quite the 50 touch, but pretty close. It's just one micro that we're in this for right now. Hmm. Might get stopped out on my micro here. So you can see it. We're Okay, got stopped out on the micro trade. Nice on the short. Oh, that's what your charts were showing to do, to take the short. All right. What's going to be your target to the downside walls? Or do you just do it level to level? That's okay. Mine was a loss on that one. Oh, you just let the stop do all the exits. What's up, Clarity? How are you doing today? We had a red morning with our funded accounts this morning, Clarity. So we had one loss with our fundeds, and we had one winner with a funded account that I've never traded. Now we're just kind of trading eval fairly aggressive because, with those Apex 90%, you only get 1 month to pass those without paying that extra 50% for renewal. Thank you for the follow, Marcelio. Fish lips, you're still holding? Oh, you said up here. Yeah, that was pretty well back way into discount on this total leg. See if we get the 75 hit here. Like I said, guys, we're trading this eval fairly aggressive. I don't recommend following any of these trades. This is a 90% eval that I only get a month to pass it before I have to pay that 50% renewal fee. So we do trade it aggressively. At least hopefully get a 75 touch here before we get any kind of reversal. Didn't quite get the 75. All right, I think what we can do is try to DCate back into this. This way, if it does stop us out, we can look for a possible 600 bounce here and DCate back into this. Yeah, that the only thing that sucks about those Clarity, you only get like a month to pass those because they got like a 50% renewal fee on them. So you don't want to pay those 50% renewal fees. Oh, that sucks, man. I do the same thing sometimes myself. I definitely wouldn't be trading your funded accounts, Outer. I'd stay away from your fundeds. Just trade evals. Fish lips, we may not get that 75 touch. All right, we can probably possibly have another 600 test here. There's another 25 bounce. So if we break the 25, you're probably heading down to the 600 here. Then we can look to maybe try to add at the 600 to try to bring down our average. So Fish Lips, what's your average right now in your trade? Oh, you got 58 plus on two fundeds? Nice. $650 is your average. Man, I can't believe it's already 11:30. This morning has flown by. Guys, if I missed you if you followed, sorry about that. We've been so focused on charts this morning that I know I haven't been paying attention to the chat as much. About to get a new candle here. So we got about 50 seconds left before we get a new 5-minute candle. Now, we usually never do like DCA in with funded accounts. I only do this with evals. All right, 10 seconds left. That's kind of like a nice little Romney candle here too. There's your 50 touch. Hopefully we don't get stuck at the 50s here. Didn't quite break. Man, I don't know if we get the top of that candle because it would have to break structure because it's been making lower highs here. Yeah, I will. Usually it just takes me a little bit because most of my days are so busy. Like I said, man, I stream all morning, then I leave here. I work in the middle of the day, and then I come back and stream in the evening. So that's pretty much what life has been like lately. It's so hard to do anything else because just between streaming all day and, working in the middle. So, and that's something I decided to do when I first got here. Thank you for all the advice. I need to make sure I'm watching the chat whenever you call out your shorts. That way, maybe I can grab some of your shorts. Oh no, we're good today. Copy this. I'm just tired. I stayed up late last night. I think we stayed up till like 10:30, 11, and I got back up at 4 this morning because I don't ever sleep in. So, because most time the wife gets up early in the morning to get ready for work. Oh, I put my Trading View name in the lobby there. It's Huss Junior 77. Oh yeah, it's possibly, man. Like I said, I'm super tired today. I was on the struggle bus today. What is that bot turns Alex Jones? What's some? Sorry if I missed y'all's chat over there. Like I said, whenever I get into a trade and I'm just like so focused on charts, I have a hard time looking at the chat. So usually I'm a little late to the chat sometimes because I have like 3 different chats that I'm watching. So I don't ever trade like what you're seeing me do on my funded accounts. This is usually eval only, and usually it's just cheap evals. So the reason why we have to trade these accounts a little aggressive, because see, Apex usually never does like 90% off. I mean, hardly ever. But the only thing about the 90% accounts, they only give you 30 days to pass them because the renewal fees are 50%. So you'll get them for say $19, but if you got to pay for that renewal fee, you're probably like 80, $90 for a renewal fee. So it almost makes you where you have to trade them aggressive. All right, so a runner got stopped out. So that was probably going to be my last trade for the morning. Like I said, we're in the red on a few fundeds, green on the one eval, and green on one funded. Like I said, we usually only do one trade on the funded. So it'll either be a winning trade or a losing trade, and we don't continue to trade. We just put it to a side and just live whatever the results are. In this way, it kind of keeps me from over trading my accounts, because that's usually what happens in the past. You try your best to stick to that, but what happens is if you have a hard time living with the red day. So we'll disconnect those so we're not tempted. Oh, this. Let me look real quick. Um. Oh, it's not Husk. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I don't ever look at that name. There you go. All right, guys. Thank you guys for watching today. Like I said, I had to go to work today. Then we will be back for the London or Asia market. Hopefully, we'll have another good session in the Asia market tonight. I think we were up 180 last night in the Asia market. It got below the one level that we like to trade off which is the PM low. Remember, guys, try to protect your accounts today. It's okay to have a break-even day or a red day, as long as you don't just work on your risk management. That's the big key sometimes. I know I've struggled in the past with that myself. But thank you guys for watching, and everyone have a good day. Shoot. There it goes.